really know, then he doesn't really want to be directed. Do you understand? So if the task is in Asda, well, the guy who's stocking the shelves, does he want to be directed?
No.
He doesn't want to be directed because he knows what to do, doesn't he? He doesn't want to be followed every step of the way. Is that going to motivate him or demotivate him? It's going to demotivate him, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, he knows he's done his work before, unless he's a new recruit. Unless he's a new recruit and he's in a training program and then he's being taught how to do it. But if he's done it and he's done it again and he's done it before, it's a fairly mundane, routine task, isn't it? He knows the stock to get out, he's been told what to do, how much to get in, what shelves to fill, where and by what time, yes? So he doesn't need to be directed because it's clear. It's effective when a member of staff has a low preference for independence and self-direction. So if the member of staff feels that he's unclear and he has low self-esteem in that situation and he needs guidance, then what would you do?
Tell him what to do.
Tell him what to do. So there you would need direction. Okay? So again, you're looking at the task in terms of if the task is clear, if it's ambiguous, then you give direction. If the member of staff has low self-esteem and is unsure and unclear, you give more direction. But where the member of staff believes he's done it and knows it and everything else, he doesn't need that. And he's proven himself in the past. He doesn't need that direction. But by you giving him direction, it's going to demotivate him. Because it's going to be felt that you're smothering him, you're controlling him, you're telling him to do something that he already knows to do. And when we know to do something, we don't need to be told to do it. We just do it. Yeah? So, you have supportive leadership styles. What is supportive leadership styles? Tell me.
When you help your workers.
Yes, you're supporting them. So, supportive leadership style provides psychological support to members of staff and creates an friendly environment. This is effective where you have lots of disputes and between team members in a group. And in order to get over this kind of like, over this, you kind of supply more support. It's effective when the subordinate task is risky and stressful. Okay? So where the task is risky and stressful, and you may make a mistake, you're thinking to yourself, you need support here. Just to clarify that you're on the right way. Just to clarify you're on the right track. How do you feel when you're doing your assignments? Do you need support?
Yeah.
Sometimes, Sharon?
Yes.
It depends on the question. If it's easy, I need to
Yeah.
talk that.
But generally speaking, in this college, do you think you need support?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Of course
to
you
be
need
directed,
support.
yeah.
You need, and how does that make you feel?
Good.
It makes you feel good knowing that you're doing the work as you go along and that you've had support and that you're on the right track. Whereas, or would you prefer just to do the assignment right at the end and hand it in, not knowing?
No, it's a better.
Okay, but if you feel you're at that level, then, because remember what we said, identifying the individual's preferences and needs. If you feel you're at that level and you feel you don't need that support, then it's fine. Then the student should be allowed to go on and do their own thing. But if the student is coming to you and saying, I need help and I need support, I'm not too sure about this, I'm not too sure about this, then you need support and it's effective. And you're only going to motivate someone by providing that support, and if you don't, what are you going to do? You're going to demotivate them because they're not going to be unsure, they're not going to know, it's going to be stressful, and you don't know if you're going to be on the right track. And what happens is, lots of students give up. Do you understand? People give up because they don't know if they're on the right track, and it all becomes too much. You need that encouragement, you need that support. Okay? It's ineffective when a task is intrinsically motivating. Support behaviour will have little or no effect. Okay? What about participative leadership style, the third style in Pathgo theory?
It's one that gets involved. So,
Participative. You allow people now to get involved in the decision-making process. Yeah? So, here, the leader encourages involvement by subordinates' decision-making. Okay? And empowers people to take action. It is effective when the task is ambiguous, but subordinate staff demands involvement in the task. So participation is good when the task is a little bit ambiguous, people are not sure, but people want involvement. Okay, so again, we're looking at the individual in terms of, do we know that you want involvement or not? And if you want involvement, then participative leadership style is good, because by you giving people involvement, when you know that person wants to be involved, you're going to motivate them. But if the person doesn't want to be involved, will you be able to motivate them in participative leadership style? No. Again, you need to look at the individual's characteristics and needs. Yes.
Is it when the manager gets involved and tell them?
No, it's when the manager says, help me with this. Help me in the decision making. What are your views? What are your opinions? What do you...
The staff.
Yes.
Oh.
When the manager is talking to the staff. The manager is talking to the staff. What do you think we should do? What's your opinion? Well, what's your solution to this? Okay, well, let's try your ideas. Do you understand? And then we have delegating. What is delegating leadership style? What is delegating?
Basically, give you a responsibility to somebody to carry out.
Yes, it gives you the direct responsibility to carry out the task. It's not helping you, it's not supporting you. It knows that you have the capability and the ability and the experience to carry out that task. And then they just say, go ahead and do it, delegating it. How can we apply this to ASDA? Sharon, how can we apply this to ASDA? So how would a manager in ASDA apply it? Because we have to apply this, yes? How would we apply it? Delegating.
Delegate.
Yes. Yes, so if you were at till, you would say, well, here's your cashier, here's your till, here's your money, here's your receipts. Now they've delegated that function in terms of serving customers. And people filling out stock on the shop floor. Again, and chefs in stores, people behind as they're cooking the food. Cooking the food, they are delegated to run their own sections because they are allowed to get on because they know what they're doing. Okay? So it is effective where the subordinate have individual responsibilities and control. Okay? Like different sections in ASDA. You wouldn't see a manager using directive leadership style in all the different sections, because then the little managers of each department wouldn't feel very good, would they? Okay? So here are the four main leadership styles in Pathfield theory, but they are dependent upon what? Two factors. Dependent upon what?
Task.
The task and the individual. Good. Remember that. Pathfield, the leadership style is tailor-made depending upon the characteristics of the employee and the task. But Pathfield theory go on to explain other leadership styles, depending upon the situation. So, apart from the four leadership styles as discussed above, they also talk about, Pathfield added some more type leadership styles depending upon certain situations. So depending upon the work facilitation, if there's work facilitation in an organisation where technology to complete a task is new or unknown, then what type of leadership style would you adopt?
The first one, what was it?
Directive?
Directive, that's
Yep,
it.
good. Here, work facilitation in an organisation, you're going to need more direction. And it's effective where the team does not have relevant knowledge and experience or technology, and the confidence is low. So, before you came into this class, you didn't know about the Google Classroom, you didn't know about Google Docs. Was you resistant to change, firstly? Yes, you was. Did you need direction? Because you didn't know about it, did you? You didn't know about the technology. You didn't know how to use Google Docs. You didn't know how to set it up. You didn't know about the Google Classroom. You didn't know how to access it, did you? So you needed direction. Could I have just let you go ahead and do it yourself? No. Why? What would have happened? You wouldn't have been able to use it. Okay? So here, where you don't have much experience, you're going to be directing people more. But if you don't direct people, how are you going? What's going to happen in terms of affecting their motivation? Is it going to be in a negative way or positive way? Negative. So you can see that, can't you?
For the company as well.
Yes, for the company as well. Excellent. You have interactive facilitation in an organisation unit where team members do not get along. So where team members do not get along, what type of leadership style do you think you would need? Supportive, yes. So here, leading my interaction resolving disputes. So you need supportive. Yeah, supportive, trying to get people together, trying to work, iron out any disputes that members of staff might have between each other. Because if you can't get members of staff working together in a team, and they're working on a team to achieve an objective, your team is not going to work effectively. Remember, we did a team dynamics in P3, in organisational behaviour. Group decision making. In a group decision making situation, where there's a group or team in a matrix type organisation to achieve a goal or objective, here the group assigned to a common project, it becomes important that the task related decisions have high acceptance in the group. So what type of decision making will you be using here, leadership style here?
Participate.
Yes, absolutely. Participative leadership style, allowing people to participate in the decision making. Otherwise, they're not going to feel part of the what?
See?
They're not going to feel part of the team. Okay? Difference between a team and a group? Difference between a team and a group?
A team has a
The
common
team works
purpose.
collectively while the group works individually.
Yes, so the team works for their overall goal of the team, whereas the group works for their individual goals. Okay? So here,